Welcome to the Richard Stewart Show. My name is Richard Stewart. I'm a former national team player for the Canadian national team who won a silver medal for Canada in the 91 games in Sheffield, England. I also played at St. Joseph's University NCAA Division I in the Atlantic 10 Conference.
Stewart again down the lane, no foul, they let him have it. Richard has 19.
Currently, I own Advanced Basketball Canada, a program that teaches kids how to play basketball from the fundamentals to the more advanced. Two of the notable players that I've trained are Dillon who plays for the Memphis Grizzlies,
and Brooks will go and jam it with the right hand off the setup by Moran.
And Ignas Brazdeikiz,
Brazdeikiz to steal, some contact, and we play on. Brazdeikiz,
who plays for the New York Knicks. I also train ladies, and the ladies that are in university and have played in Europe as well. So I have a lot of ladies who have trained and are playing basketball. Hello, true believers. Welcome to the Richard Stewart Show. My name is Richard Stewart. On today's program, we're going to be discussing the non-controversy. It's not even a controversy of who's the greatest player of all time. The Michael Jordan-LeBron controversy, which is a non-controversy, and I'll explain why. And we're going to put Kobe Bryant in there as well. We're going to talk about all these things that's swirling on the internet. What's happening these days is that people are getting bored. And with boredom comes all these weird theories and controversies. Again, non-controversies about basketball and what it was all about back then. All right, so we're going to talk about past basketball and basketball in the present. Let's do this. The first shot fired was by Laimbeer, sitting somewhere with his beer belly, saying stuff that LeBron's better than Michael Jordan, better team player, better this, better that. It is true that LeBron passes the ball a lot more. However, it is not true that LeBron James is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. Watch what happens to Michael Jordan when he drives to the basket.
Here again, the implementation of the Jordan rules.
Oh, look at that.
Three guys are going to be around him at every turn, particularly when he's about to shoot the ball and make him work.
Watch how guys used to punch guys in the face back in those days.
Fouled by two people, actually, and those are both hard fouls.
Oh, look at that.
Edwards grabbed Neely on the way down. Neely took a...
Think about this now. Will today's players be able to survive in that game? There were brawls. Guys were being punched in the face and was play on. All right? Remember those days? Some of you may, some of you may not. People have been watching basketball maybe from 1995, 1998, have no idea what basketball was back in the day. All right? So let me delve into it. Michael Jordan was a player who was a force in terms of his mental abilities, his mental acuity. It had nothing to do with his physical ability, which was extraordinary. His mental ability, his refusal to lose, his finding a way to outplay people, to get in people's heads, was legendary. All right? There's no way that LeBron matches him mentally in terms of that. In terms of his game, Michael Jordan was posting guys up as soon as he came in the league. It took LeBron at 6'8", 250 pounds, took him 10 years to learn to post people up. Come on, you know basketball. If you're smaller than me or my size, I'm putting you in the torture chamber. Where's the torture chamber? The key. Put you on the block, jump hook, drop step, up and under, through your legs, fade away off the backboard. If you're smaller than me, why am I going to be dribbling and doing all this stuff out there? Why? There's no reason to. Michael Jordan, what? Put you on the block, torture you. Now, when the coach makes an adjustment and put a taller player on you, then you take him outside and make him move laterally. Bigger, taller players cannot handle speed laterally. So Michael Jordan has the full package. Mentally, though, he's tougher. And it's been proven time and time again, if you know anything about basketball. The man was just a mentally stronger person and player. The only person that ever matched him that I've seen in our lifetime is Kobe Bryant. You will your team to win. You put your team on your back and you will them to win. Okay? If Chris Bosh didn't get that rebound and pass it to Ray Allen, Miami doesn't win that game for the championship. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. And yeah, sure, Jordan had some help. I mean, Scottie Pippen is a top 50 player in this league for a reason, and deservedly so. So let's not say Michael didn't have help. However, everyone knows what Michael did in practices, right? Getting his players to play better, forcing his will onto guys, all right? Making guys be professionals and attacking the basket. Now, Let's talk about back in the day. Bill Laimbeer is talking crap because Bill Laimbeer doesn't have anything better to do. So I forget about Bill Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer played for the Detroit Pistons, and he was a journeyman. He didn't jump high. He was one of those guys who just shot the basketball from 15 feet and set screens. Really and truly a cheap shot artist. Bill Laimbeer should be discounted in the conversation. I don't respect his game at all. The guys on the Detroit Pistons that mattered are guys like Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, okay, John Sally, Hollywood, who went to Hollywood, did a lot of movies and shows and stuff. You had a guy coming off the bench by the name of Vinnie Johnson, who shot it like this. For you kids who want to see a bad shooting, try doing a follow-through like that. That is who Vinnie the Microwave was. Vinnie the Microwave Johnson. Dennis Rodman, rebounding, classic rebounder, rebounding champion, desire, diving out of bounds for balls. Did everything in his power to get every single rebound. Rick Mahorn, who's a real tough guy on that team. It wasn't Laimbeer. Laimbeer is no tough guy. He's a punk. Then you had Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre was one of those guys that came in from Dallas, and they got rid of Adrian Dantley and brought Mark Aguirre in, and that made that team get over the hump. So the Bad Boys era was not about Bill Laimbeer at all. All right, Edwards was the main big guy there. Forget about Laimbeer. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's not listen to the guys who know what they're talking about. Gerald Henderson was on that team as well. A nice guard, got traded to Philadelphia, and I know Gerald a little bit. And Gerald actually gave me a pair of shoes, and when I was at St. Joseph's University, and we talked about the Bad Boys a bit. So I know that Bill Laimbeer is not to be taken seriously. Think about back in the day now when they played basketball. You had the Indiana Pacers who had Reggie Miller, but they had the Davis brothers, two guys who were bruisers. All right, you're not driving down the middle of the lane and getting the layup. Heck, no way. All right, you're getting thrown to the floor. It may be a foul, may not play on. You have the guys like the Portland Trailblazers, Jerome Kersey. You're not getting by him. And if you get down the middle of the lane again, drive from the wing, wherever you get to, he's hammering you. All right, that's Jerome Kersey. In New York, they had Oakley and they had Anthony Mason. These guys were bruisers. Again, once again, the game was different back then than it is now. All right, so the guys that are playing now, you breathe on them, and what happens? Foul. All right, they flop. Back in the day, you're not getting none of those calls. All right. Little side note about Anthony Mason was that he passed away. Rest in peace, Anthony Mason. Just a tough, hard-nosed player. My condolences to his family. He passed away a couple of years ago. Think about the game, though, back then when it used to be played. You were able to hold on to a guy's jersey. You were able to hold on to a guy's shorts. When you came off of a double screen, the center would step out. And if you don't watch what you're doing, his knee would be in your thigh. You get a Charlie horse. Think about what happens in the game today. You have guys like Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a good shooter and a good ball handler. He shoots a three, he makes a three, he starts doing a little jiggly dance. Oh, not back in my day. You're not disrespecting the game like that. He disrespects the game. That's blatantly disrespecting the game. Shoot your jump shot and get back on defense. Fine, you made your shot. The game back then was just policed by guys better. So here's what would have happened back in the day if he did that, shot the jump shot, and Steph Curry did his little jiggle dance. You know what happened? I'd run him through the double screen of the baseline side, and the center on my team would step with an elbow right into his ribs. Because he's disrespecting us. He makes a jump shot and he's dancing. This game has turned to a farce. Basketball's not the way it used to be. My teammates know, if a guy tries to show us up like that, I'm going to run a screen. And as soon as he runs through there, boom! All right, he's getting some of that. We're gonna tune him up a little bit, let him know to respect the game. That's how the game used to be. All right? Now, if we don't have people policing the game becomes what it is today, right? A fluff show. Hear what Isaiah Thomas said. Isaiah Thomas says there's no more on-ball defense. There's a time when you pick a guy up end line to end line, all right? He better be able to handle the ball because I'm on you. My hand's at your knee, and I'm going to play you all the way down the court. Now, guys, dribble the ball down the court, stop, and shoot the ball. Yeah, guys have range, but they're open. If you're an NBA player, if you're a grown man and you're open, you can't make a jump shot. You shouldn't be in the league. That's what you're getting paid for, all right? So the game has changed totally where anybody can score now. I'll tell you what. Have the Raptors put me on, all right? Give me 2 minutes in any game, and I bet you I'll score 4 points. I bet you. I'll score 4 points, and I bet you my man will not score. Nobody plays angles anymore. Left-handed players are the easiest ones to guard. People used to think they were hard to guard. They're not hard to guard. You force the guy right? He comes back and you angle your foot on the outside of his foot. He thinks he's got you. He comes back with his jump shot, but his left-handed jump shot is square back in your face. Block shot. That stuff isn't even being taught anymore. Different game. So all these guys are coming up, oh, LeBron's better than Jordan. LeBron may not even last you through a full season back then. We just showed you the clip. Guys are getting bulldogged to the ground. Play on. Right? A guy comes off the screen, a big man steps out, boom, in his chest, boom, in his ribs. Stick the knee. Think about it now. When I was playing, let me hear this. When I was playing, and I saw a guy with a knee wrap, I'm brushing that knee a little bit. Sorry. I'm running into his knee. Oh, sorry. Because I want to test to see if he's got the metal. Can he handle a little bit of adversity and pain? All right? Those are the things we used to do. We never used to talk to guys before games. All right? After the game, yeah, we get together. But before games, I'm all business. So the game is changing into this soft thing where these guys are running up and down, jumping and dunking, and people are saying, oh, they're better athletes now. No, they're not. No, they're not. Think about Oscar Robertson. Think about those guys who were doing triple doubles back then with 4 guys hanging on him. Think about Will Chamberlain. How many guys were hanging on him when he was getting 30, 40 rebounds? Think about Charles Barkley. Draymond Green comes and talks about how he's better than Charles Barkley. Are you kidding me? Better than Charles? Charles used to stand, and I went to St. Joe's. The Sixers used to practice there because back in the day, NBA teams used to practice at local universities in America. And they shared the same locker room with us. So I scrimmaged with Charles Barkley, and I've seen them up close. He used to stand on one leg and go up and dunk the basketball with 2 hands. Stand on one leg, that's how you practice. You're a pro. Draymond Green? He wouldn't even, come on now. Forget about Draymond Green. He's just talking foolishness. There's no reason why anyone should believe anything he has to say. Charles Barkley is one of the top 20 basketball players of all time. Draymond Green was not going to make the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you that right now. All right? Should not make the Hall of Fame. He's a bum. Well, he's not a bum. I shouldn't say that. He's a good basketball player. All right? But he's not making the Hall of Fame. So now, let's talk about the New York Knicks again. A team that should be in relegation. What's relegation? Ladies and gentlemen, if you watch Premier League soccer, if your team doesn't have a certain amount of wins, put them in the bottom, in the basement leagues, right? Can't play on the main stage if your team is that bad. New York, your team is that bad. Your farm system is not good. Put the New York Knicks in the G League. Basically, that's where they should be. And they wouldn't win the G League either if you put that team on the G League. I would love to play against New York. I'll score 4 points for sure. All right, so New York, relegation, goes in the G League, and then the NBA should be fine. Thank you. I would like to thank our sponsor.
No sugar snacks! No sugar snacks! No sugar snacks! No sugar snacks!
Welcome back to our program. Weren't those kids great? No sugary snacks. All right. At this point of our program, this segment, we're going to go with Scrub Nation. Scrub Nation is when viewers call in or write into us and give us their nominee for a 6'11", 6'10", 7-footer who misses a wide-open dunk. Let's look at this one now. Oh, who was it this time? LeBron. That's why LeBron is not the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan would have never missed that. See what I'm talking about? Scrub Nation, LeBron. The Scrub Nation. Now, next week, we're going to have young stars. And we're going to start putting out those kids who have been tearing it up on the local scene. Grade 9, grade 10 kids who are playing prep here in Toronto, Canada. And we'll have them on next week's program. Rising Stars. The next week also we'll have the Wasteman Wing. And the guys we put in the Wasteman Wing are the guys that are, guards that go in and miss open layups and stuff like that. You're an NBA player. How do you miss a wide open layup? I never missed a layup ever in my life playing basketball. How do they do it? I don't know. So here we go now, all right? So Wasteman Wing next week. Fans call in. Fans, message us. And we'll take your nominations and we'll get through it. Remember, little things turn into big things. Thank you for watching our program today. See you next week. God bless you.